55 horsepower for the SI, 32 horsepower for the non-SI, 1.5 models. Okay, this video is everything you need to know about TSP Stage 1 for the 10th Gen Civics. This is the $80 tune that brings the SI up by 55 horsepower and the non-SI 1.5 models up by 32 horsepower, according to Two-Step Performance. I'm gonna start off by saying the most important thing you can do for yourself when you're about to mod your car, especially the 10th Gen Civic, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, is do the research. People get ripped off on mods all the time because they're misled, which I will mention later in the video. I'm gonna go over the pros, the cons, what it's like daily driving the car, reliability, safety, does it void your warranty, does it do this, that, everything. Okay, so first of all, what is this tune? It is made by a very well-known and experienced tuner of Hondas named Derek Robinson. And it's distributed by this company called Two-Step Performance, or TSP. The link to everything I'm gonna talk about is in the description, with all my evidence and substantiating documents. So the tune is $80. What a lot of people don't know is that if you go to twostepperformance.com, you can buy a brand new Ktuner, either version 1.2 or version 2 with the screen like I have, and you get the tune for free with your purchase. For free with your purchase. So why are people not doing that? People are buying them from websites that don't give them tunes for the same price. If you're getting the Ktuner version 2, it's $650 new. If you buy it from Two-Step Performance, you get the $80 tune with your purchase. It's a no-brainer. I don't know why people are buying from other websites. I don't know. It's because they don't know. They don't know any better. So I'm telling you right now, go to Two-Step Performance if you're gonna buy your Ktuner. That way you have the tune with it. So what are all the benefits from the tune? For the SIs, you gain about 55 wheel horsepower, and that's on stock parts. So stock intercooler, stock intake, all that type of stuff. We don't know how much power it'll make with like full bolt-ons. Once my car is fully bolted on and I have an intercooler upgrade, I'm gonna take it to a dyno so I can show you guys. You have 3 different maps to choose from. Map 1 is stock boost levels, which on mine I see about 17 PSI. Map 2 is 19 PSI normal mode, 21 PSI sport mode, and map 3 is 19 normal and a custom boost level, which I see about 24 and some change. Some people see about 23, some people see about 25. It just depends on your car, what elevation you are, where you're at. My third point, you should buy an intercooler upgrade first. I did not do that, and I lose a lot of power after my first run. These cars are very susceptible to heat soak. Anyone who does the slightest amount of research knows that these cars are very susceptible to heat soak. Buy an intercooler upgrade first. I know not a lot of people are gonna wanna hear this. A lot of people are gonna wanna jump right to an exhaust, jump right to a cold air intake, which I did. That's what I did. And I wish I would have gotten the intercooler upgrade first, either PRL or Mishimoto. It's like a boring mod because it doesn't make any more sound. It doesn't make any more like noticeable power. You're not gonna feel 8 horsepower from an intercooler, but that's just my recommendation. Getting all worked up. Getting all worked up. My fourth point, is it safe? Is it reliable? Will it blow up your engine? Due to a lot of different research that I've seen on the forums and on the Facebook groups, these cars are good for about 350 horsepower on the stock internals. Some people say 400, some people say 500, which is absurd. People do blow their engines. I did some research. Here's a thread on civicx.com of somebody who reported that he blew his SI engine, this 2018, when he was on TSP Stage 1 and he was two-stepping, apparently on a cold engine. Obviously that's bad. That guy totally fucked up. Don't do that. Is it safe? It's obviously not as safe as leaving your car stock. When you tune your car, you are accelerating the wear and tear of all the components, every single thing. You are definitely putting more stress on the rods, which that is a weak point of these cars. A lot of people report that it is safe and they haven't had any reliability issues. There are some bad things about this tune, which I'll talk about at the end of the video. My fifth point, does it void your warranty? Of course it voids your warranty. Why would it not? Honda's not gonna hold up your warranty when you're trying to add 55 horsepower to your car. It's not gonna happen. So the warranty is voided the second you tune the car. It has been reported by a few people that Honda is able to see some sort of flash counter, or they are able to see if the car has been tuned or not. Some people say they can't. Let's err on the side of caution and assume that there is some way they can figure out if your ECU has been modified. So be aware of that. Be careful of that.
Did I get a cheeseburger, Morgan?
Yes, absolutely. All right, so my So my 6th point, let's get into the driving. There are definitely some bad things. I'm gonna talk about the good things first because let's be optimistic. The tune does feel really good. I'm gonna play a video right now of Vivian's first impressions. Okay, that was like 24 PSI.
I definitely feel a difference.
You think it was faster than the first time we tried it out?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the tune makes a huge difference in power. Also, if you guys are new to my channel, I have done a lot of racing, and I'm going to continue to do a lot of racing, so subscribe if you haven't already. Here is a video of my car when it was stock versus Sergio's Cobalt SS Turbo, followed by a rematch when I was on TSP Stage 1. Oh fuck, he got me that time for sure. So that's a huge difference. As you can see, I kept up pretty well with him, but he did pull once we got into the higher speeds. So I told you that it has 3 different map options. So to select your maps, you're gonna hold down the cancel button for a couple seconds, and it goes up to 2000 RPM because I'm on map 2. Go down to 1000 RPM for map 1, and then you hit the plus sign right here to go to map 3, whatever. So I like to leave it on map 2. 21 PSI actually feels really good with this car. The custom boost level, it doesn't feel like that big of a difference from the 21 PSI tune. So the third good thing about the car is that it completely disables the artificial rev hang. And what I mean by artificial rev hang is, if you don't know, these cars have a dual mass flywheel, which still produces some mechanical rev hang even after you disable rev hang. But it does feel really good. It's shifting very smoothly right now. I'll ask Vivian, how smooth do you think that felt versus when my car was stock?
Well, it's significantly a lot smoother.
When it's cold out, when I'm getting up early and driving in the morning, having no rev hang, you have to be very careful shifting this car because it will jerk on you. I've had several people DM me on Instagram asking me if I've experienced this problem. I also had one person send me a detailed email about how they experienced this jerking problem where they're going from this gear to this gear, and if you don't shift quick enough, because you have to shift quickly with having no rev hang. Okay, first and a second. They actually didn't fall that much or that quickly. So you can see that there still is some rev hang. It does feel a lot better than stock though. So you do have to shift a lot quicker. And if you don't, especially when it's cold out, it feels like the transmission will like bog down on you, or the engine will bog down. So when you disable rev hang, you got to get your shit in gear and shift like you mean it. Did you feel that?
Yeah.
That was it. You know what I'm talking about now?
Mm-hmm.
Vivian felt that. So I went from 4th to 5th.
And it jolted a little bit.
Yep. Yep. So that's the problem right there. I don't know the exact mechanical details of why that happens. I find that shifting as quickly as you can without power shifting, it does help reduce the chance of that happening. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you what, every single time I get in this car to go somewhere, that does happen at least once. So it is a problem. So the second problem I want to talk about, which is also it's a pro and con at the same time. When you're in map 2 and 3 in sport mode, you have better turbocharger response, which means that your turbo will spool more quickly with less throttle response compared to normal driving modes. You need to be very careful because in a turbocharged car, you do not want to make high boost at low RPM. So what I do is whenever I floor the car, I make sure that I'm at the very least 3000 RPM. You feel it again?
Yep.
It's very annoying, that jerkiness. It's very annoying. I try to be around 3500 before I even think about flooring it. And when I do floor, I roll my foot into it. I don't smash the throttle because then you're gonna have 24 pounds of boost coming at you from nothing. And that's definitely putting a lot of stress. Like I don't think I need to tell you that puts a lot of stress on your internals. It just does. So here's a video of me racing a stock 2015 WRX. and I was in 4th gear around 3,000, maybe 3,200 RPM, and I didn't want to smash the throttle because I didn't want to put all that wear on my clutch at that low of RPM, so I rolled into it. Here's the clip. Ready? Into my third con, which is accelerated clutch wear. These cars already have really weak clutches from the factory. It's actually the same clutch and transmission used in the EXT, which has like 25 or like 30 less horsepower, 31 less horsepower. So you need to be careful.
Oh my god.
What else should I talk about?
You're trying to get on the freeway?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Auburn runs parallel to the freeway. So the next... yeah.
The last, so another good feature I wanted to, so another feature that I'll demonstrate for you right now is, what's it called? So another feature that I will demonstrate for you right now that this offers is wide open throttle shifting, or no lift shift. Here's me trying that out. I'm not sure if I like that. I mean, I get that it makes the car shift quicker and it keeps the boost, but I don't really feel like it's a good thing for your car because the RPMs kind of spike a little bit. So I think I'm all set with that. So a lot of people report that their clutch is slipping at, you know, very few miles on their car. I actually have almost 10,000 miles on mine now, and after having it tuned and racing, oh my god, dozens of races. So part of it is, you know, I'm probably lucky, and another factor to my clutch still being okay is probably that I roll into my full throttles. So some people might say that doesn't matter, but I mean, I beat the shit out of this car and it's at 10,000 miles tuned and my clutch is still fine. So if you want to take my advice, take my advice. If not, listen, I am making this video to answer everyone's questions that I've received, and I'm putting it all into one video. I'm being very blunt, I'm being very honest. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I have no obligation to say something a certain way. So this is real shit. This is what it's like. I do prefer, at the end of the day, I prefer driving the car on TSP Stage 1 versus driving it on the stock tune. The stock tune I think is obnoxious with the amount of rev hang that's on it. It's disgusting. The tune has allowed me to keep up with a bunch of other cars. Here's a little compilation of all my races that I've won with this tune. The first pull that we're gonna do, I'm gonna do it in map 3 sport mode. So this is the full-blown tune, and I'm gonna start in 3rd gear. Here we go. How would you describe the acceleration of this car now?
I mean, I definitely think it has more power than when you just had it on stock.
Yeah, I agree. It's very noticeable. The power the power band does feel really good. So on the stock tune, this car loses power. It actually loses power after about 5,800 RPM. And on this tune, it pulls very strong up until redline. I usually don't actually bring it to red. Actually, I never actually bring it to redline now with this tune. I shift at around 6,200 RPM is where I try to do it. Before I get into anything, I actually want to put this at the start of the video because I've received a lot of questions about this. People have been experiencing the same exact problem I had. This is what happened. When I first uploaded the TSP Stage 1 tune, I followed every single step correctly. And for some reason, here's the video of it if you want to watch the whole video. For some reason, the max boost pressure I saw was 20 PSI. And I know that it should have been up around 24 to 25. I tried switching to all the different maps in the video. I tried doing sport mode on, sport mode off. I floored it several times. Same thing, 20 PSI was the max. It did feel quicker than stock. It did feel better. I don't know what it is. So I immediately emailed the guys at TSP and I said, hey, this just happened. What do you think happened? Their response, I don't want to crap on them, but their response was, it didn't help me at all. And they didn't make the slightest effort to try and help me figure it out, what the problem was. All he said was, it could be your elevation, it could be your blah, 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 which I'm in Sacramento, it's like a couple hundred feet above sea level. And then he said, at the very end of that email, he said, sometimes it doesn't upload correctly, which we have no idea why it happens. Bingo! I couldn't find any other information of how to fix this. This is how I fixed it, because I know a lot of you are having this problem. What I did was I deleted the Ktuner manager software from my computer. I removed the Ktuner from my car. I flashed it back to stock and removed it from my car. And then I did every single step over. So pretend if this does happen to you, if it uploads incorrectly the first time, flash your car back to stock and then pretend that you just got the Ktuner in the mail and redo every single thing over again. For some reason, that's what worked for me. And now the tune is fine. At the end of the day, I'm very happy with this tune. I'm very happy having the tune. It is definitely worth your money. I just recommend that you get the intercooler first, and then you can get the tune and do whatever you want to the car. I know there's gonna be a lot of people buying these cars for years, and some people probably be buying a used 2020 SI years from now and stumble upon this video. I hope this helped you out in making your decision to tune your car or not. Yes, it is risky. Yes, these engines are not as good as the old K-Series engines. I don't care what people say, they're not as good. I wish there was a way for people who are buying used 10th Gen Civics to see right when they buy the car, to see if it has been tuned or not. I don't think there really is a way. Somebody DM'd me on Instagram though, and he said, what if you contacted Ktuner, say, hey, I'm about to buy this used car. I want to check to see if it has been tuned and tampered with or not. You give them the VIN number, and maybe if they don't mind, they can run a little check for you and see if one of their devices has been linked to that VIN number before, and maybe you can find out like that. I don't see why Ktuner would not do that for you. With all that being said, thank you very much for watching. If you guys have any recommendations on future videos or tutorials or informational videos, drop them in the comments. Let me know if this helped you make a decision to tune the car or not, and see you next time. TSP Stage 1. TSP Stage. Pump me up, babe. Pump me up. Pump me. Get me pumped up, babe. I have to... Babe.
You pumped?
Now I'm gonna pump you up.